Everyone, as I come to you at this current moment in human history and current moment in time, obviously, calendars are a human invention. We invented them. We specifically invented and are currently using, at least in the United States, a calendar that has 12 months, and each month has a seemingly random assortment of days. Like, what the fuck's going on there? Like, why doesn't, I don't know. But we live in a society that uses calendars, and today, as it is, that I'm coming to you from, now who knows, it's possible in the future, calendar system that we use now isn't going to be used anymore. I mean, I think our current calendar could use some upgrades, but as of this moment in time, it is April 20th, 2023, and April 20th, it's kind of gone mainstream, let's be honest here. I think it's getting a little cringe. You ever see these, like, I'm all in. I'm totally down. But you know what I hate? When normies, non-marijuana enthusiasts say that. Anyway, I'm getting on a side tangent. I got a news article. This is a news article. We're going to jump in. Folks, we're jumping the fuck in. So get ready, because we're about to jump the fuck in. All right. Cannabis growers and regulators confront Michigan's oversaturated market. What? And then look at this. This is like, I'm just imagining like this is a great image. Like, I'm just imagining that this is a real person. And that's a real person, and that, anyway. Michigan has a weed problem, and consumers are loving it. More than 3 years after legal recreational marijuana sales began in the state, the market is saturated with cannabis at bargain basement prices. The average price of an ounce of adult use flower is... What is adult use flower, by the way? That, implies the existence of a child use flower? Why do they need to specify adult use? I mean, it's a fucking goddamn psychoactive drug. I mean, you can make the claim that sugar is a psychoactive drug as well, but that's a different story. But anyway, adult use flower dropped from $512 in January 2020 to $80 for an ounce of weed. $80 fucking dollars. All right, raise your hand in the chat room if you are a marijuana enthusiast and or enjoyer. Do you buy weed is what I'm asking you. $80. $80 fucking dollars. Like, yo, I am used to spending like $200 to $300 on an ounce. $80. Now again, let's also keep in mind that $80 is also way too expensive, right? I read a study before that if there were no legality bullshit and black market and all this fucking laws and regulation and stuff, on the raw market value of marijuana, you'd probably hover around like a couple bucks a pound, just because it's so fucking easy to grow and all that. But anyway, whatever. The point is, we're in the year 2023. We haven't, abolished markets yet or whatever. So, but $80, man, that is crazy. That is crazy. Not even the black market can compete with these prices. To be honest, I don't really know why you would. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're underage, but you shouldn't be doing that anyway. But the plummeting prices have an enormous downside for cannabis businesses, many of which are struggling to survive. Growers, processors, and dispensaries are often selling their products at or near cost, hoping the prices rebound in the near future. Why? 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 I don't know, man. Like, if I'm working at a fucking weed shop, why would I hope for the weed prices to go? I mean, I guess if I'm a capitalist, but fucking the idea of capitalists working at a dispensary, I mean, hey, it's a little fucked. Not even the largest dispensary chains are immune. In July 22, Loom Cannabis closed 4 dispensaries across the state. Sky Mint, which operates 24 dispensaries and 3 indoor grow operations, entered receivership earlier this year following a lawsuit from a Canadian investment firm that alleges the company owes it more than $217 million. Fucking Canada. Get your shit out of here, Canada. Don't you got your own goddamn country? Fucking Canada. Can you believe this shit? Fuck. We need a complete and total shutdown on Canadian cannabis until we figure out what the fuck is going on here. God. Following a law, blah, blah, blah. Growers are also struggling. In early 2021, they were selling flower to dispensaries for nearly $4,000 a pound. Now they're fetching under $1,000 a pound. I still have yet to see the problem. Now, again, I know this article is like written in like, this is a bad thing. That's kind of the framing of this so far. I don't understand the problem. Now, if you got into marijuana growing and in a legal state, obviously, but if you got into marijuana growing to make money, I don't care. I don't care. In fact, actually, never mind. I do care. I hope that you regret your decision. My opinion, marijuana, other substances in similar categories should not be about money. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little off base. I don't know. One of the most significant contributors to the plummeting prices is the oversaturation of cannabis. In January 21, there were fewer than 350 active grower licenses in Michigan for recreational marijuana. Today, that number has grown to more than 825. Again, what is the problem? What is the problem? Somebody, please fucking tell me what the fuck the problem is. By the way, this is another example of why we need to legalize this shit nationwide, which, by the way, can we talk about the fact that Joe Biden has been in office? This is his 3rd year in office. He campaigned on legalizing marijuana. The executive branch, without congressional approval, can deschedule marijuana. What the fuck? Like, imagine we could just export that shit. You know? This wouldn't be a fucking... I mean, it's not a problem as it is, but the imaginary problem would not exist if we as a society decided to have... Max, what the hell are you doing? If we as a society decided to have legal weed. So, those businesses were growing about 261,500 plants. In January 21. By contrast, more than 1.2 million plants were growing in February 23. And it's far more cannabis than the market can sell. A 130-acre marijuana industrial park in Windsor Township named Harvest Park. Harvest Peak. My bad. Was ordered into receivership this month after one of its lenders sued the developers over unpaid loan payments. At least 4 other blah, blah, blah. That's even as the number of recreational dispensaries continues to grow, with 75 new licenses issued just last month. Today, there are roughly 740 recreational dispensaries in the state, compared to 440 in January 21. That number should only increase as recreational dispensaries continue to open in Detroit. The city only began issuing its first licenses for adult use cannabis businesses last December. Michigan is far from alone. Other states where recreational marijuana was legalized are experiencing record low prices, and they're struggling to find solutions. Here's the solution. Get another job. Am I allowed to say that? Is that okay? Oh, you can't make ends meet trying to sell weed at extremely expensive prices? Wow. How about get another job? How about that? Now, again, my opinion is that I don't know. To me, I feel like weed is such a valuable resource. These people should probably be getting a consistent salary for manufacturing it. Think about people that work at pharmaceutical companies. They get a consistent salary, right? They get contracts that are years and years and years in advance with consistent payments. So I would put weed in the same category. Now, obviously, I don't want pharmaceutical companies to have any say in that, but I'm just saying, as far as like the way contracts work, salaries work, that would be my preference. Michigan is far from alone. I already read that. Fuck! Over the last 2 years, the price of flour dropped by more than 50% in Colorado and 36% in Massachusetts. In Michigan, the price has plummeted by nearly 85% since January 2020. Stop issuing licenses. To combat the plummeting price, some in the industry are calling for a moratorium on licenses. For new growers and dispensaries, doing so would address the oversaturation of cannabis, which in turn would make the prices more fair. Now, what is the word fair here? Now, again, if you want to use actual market value of marijuana, the price per pound, somewhere in the $10 range. That would be fair. Per pound, by the way, not ounce. That would be fair given the difficulty and upkeep required in a logical society, right? Quote, this is from Nick Hanawa, Chief Legal Counsel for Puff Cannabis. I don't think the state realized the market was going to mature so fast and become oversaturated with product. If there was a moratorium on licenses across all license categories, you wouldn't have this problem. There are more than enough dispensaries and product to go around. I say this, if you can't make money selling drugs, I mean, try opening up a coffee shop or something. Like, I mean, switch your drug. Like, if your only idea to career is selling drugs to people, and you can't make money doing that, you're selling a fucking drug to people. That is the easiest job in the world. I know these people, whatever. Open up a coffee shop, switch your drugs. Liquor store. Do something. Jesus. You see, by the way, liquor stores. There's like a liquor store every fucking... You can like stand somewhere in America and do like a full 360 and probably see like at least 3 liquor stores anywhere in the whole country. Right? So it's like, are you seeing articles about liquor store oversaturation? I don't know, man. Like, what the fuck? People invested millions of dollars thinking they would be selling marijuana for $3,000 a pound, but today can't sell it for $1,000 a pound. Hanawa says there are a lot of businesses that are really struggling, and that is sad. I say this. I don't give a fuck. I know. Marijuana should not be about money. That's my opinion. Any drug should not be about money. Coffee should not be about money. That's a drug. I love coffee. I'm drinking it right now, actually. Check it out. Like, the idea that weed is a business, I don't know, man. That always rubbed me the wrong way. I'm still failing to see the issue here. A lot of businesses that are really struggling, and that's sad. Wait, tweet this? What does this button do? I'm gonna turn this off for a moment. What does this button do? What the hell? Why would I tweet this? I mean, by the way, I love this thumbnail. Why would anyone tweet this? What is that? Why would anyone? What? In Oregon, where prices have also plummeted, lawmakers imposed a moratorium last year on new cannabis licenses to address oversupply issues. Despite moratorium, prices continue to fall to record levels this year. So I guess a moratorium didn't fucking work. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like it didn't work. So, like, you got these Michiganders. That's what they call them up there. Did you know that? You ever hear that word? Michiganders. Jesus fucking Christ. Who came up with that fucking shit? Imagine living in Michigan and, like, you have to wake up in the morning. You rub the fucking shit out of your eyeballs and you go, like, fuck. I'm a Michigander. Like, imagine that's your life. You fuck. God! Other states, including Massachusetts and Colorado, are also considering moratoriums to address the plummeting prices. Unlike Michigan, those states only need a simple majority to impose a moratorium. Industry leaders in Michigan are split on the issue. The Michigan Cannabis Industry Association, MCIA? MCIA? All right. First of all, the word industry, it's not a good word. You should avoid the word industry. But if your fucking goddamn motherfucking shitfuck has CIA in it, I'm just going to suggest a rebrand. I'm just, take it as free advice, okay? Which represents marijuana businesses, has not taken an official position, blah, blah, blah. Cracking down on scofflaws. Here we go. MCIA Executive Director Robin Schneider says the most effective way to address plummeting prices is to crack down on illicit activity in the legal market. That activity includes importing cannabis from other states like California or using marijuana from the unregulated market. Now, I am not going to lie, I agree with that, but I don't know if it's for the same reason. Like, my thing is, I agree with that just from a safety point. Like, one of the reasons why I advocate for legalized drug use. Now, decriminalization, we can make an argument. What's better, decriminalization, legalization? But one of the main pros for legalization as opposed to decriminalization is that you have a regulatory industry that is set up. Theoretically, regulators, now I know the food regulation in this country, garbage, right? Drug regulation in this country, garbage. So most regulations are actually not that effective. But theoretically, regulations are going to make the product safer. So I would say, if you're living in Michigan and you're growing weed illegally, I'm going to be honest, I don't really get it. That's just my opinion on the situation. I don't really get it. Now, I also don't think they should be arrested. What is the proper, maybe, just grant them a license. Throwing them in jail or whatever. I think that's ridiculous. Say, give them a license, put them into the system, make sure the product is good. But as far as importing, like a legalized dispensary, importing unregulated marijuana, that's a problem. That's a big problem, in my opinion, because the whole point of legalization is that it should be theoretically regulated to be a safe product. Cannabis businesses that get marijuana from the black market aren't buying it from licensed growers and processors, depriving them of business. Now, again, I don't give a fuck about the business on this one, right? The state has stepped up enforcement actions under the leadership, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you can read the rest of this. I'm going to be honest, I don't really care enough. Anyway, I think I spent way too long on that as it is. But if you're in Michigan, I'm sure there's a 420 sale going on. So, go get yourself some funsies, Because that's what people do now. They buy weed on April 20th, and then they consume it. Isn't that nuts? You ever think about that? That's a thing people do. And you could do that too for $80 an ounce if you live in Michigan. So there you go.